You've mentioned peeling back, self-discovery a few times, so I wanted to take a little turn here and ask you, uh, what is your spiritual relationship with music? Because you said it does influence your worldview. You said it's been a lifestyle and not really like a
Mm,
compartment of your life, and
mm,
it's shaped you in terms of breaking down these two identities that you had into one identity. So,
mm.
if you can speak to it, I know it's hard to usually articulate these kind of
Sure.
experiences, but what is your
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah.
relationship?
I mean, music is the language through which I um, feel spirituality, I think. I think it's been my mode of connection to um, a higher power, Almighty, and especially with Carnatic music, it's a most of the text is all religious based. Music has been my mode to connect with a higher power, um, the universe around me. Is like as far back as I can remember, I feel like there's been these points of deep resonance while I'll be singing or practicing or something. And when I was younger, I couldn't really make sense of them, but they just felt like I was vibrating deeply with something that was far greater than me, Um, and as I've gotten older, I've been able to kind of define that as just simply those are the moments where I think I at least subconsciously forget about the idea of self, and I truly feel like I'm existing as uh, a part of whatever is greater than just me. Um, and they've been humbling experiences every time since as far back as I can remember. And also to add, Carnatic music, like the text of Carnatic music is religious based text. And
Absolutely.
beyond just the fact that they're religious, I think like a lot of these compositions, what they did, and my mom was she would teach me pieces. She'd also kind of explain the gist of songs, or at least try sometimes specific lines or whatever. What I picked up on very early on is that these compositions are asking questions a lot of the times, and I think so much of the spiritual path or building a relationship with spirituality is about asking questions, asking the questions of why we're here. What does moksha or that concept mean? And how does it manifest? And that set me on the path. Those conversations I'd have with her, or more like her kind of explaining these songs to me at a young age. I think that set me on the path to understand what I wanted to speak about with my own music when I started writing my own lyrics and all that. Um, it became a process, like a cathartic process. When working on my own music was that performing, singing was all a release. And then beyond that, it also felt like, when I was um, writing out my own lyrics and all that, it gave me the opportunity to put these questions into musical form and just try to exist in the same ethos as these great composers who had influenced me so greatly from a young age. So even to this day, I think it's like music is really spiritual. And I don't mean that it's, it is, you, I mean, one could argue that everything is spiritual in terms of existence, you know what I mean? And like, if that's the basis from which we're speaking, then, like I kind of try to always keep that the center of everything I'm doing artistically.